Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making vegetable beef soup.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Well, welcome back. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Dinah, your host of In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today I thought I'd share with you the vegetable beef soup. It is a great crock-pot recipe. You can throw everything in the crock-pot, leave for work, come home and have dinner. Or if you have a busy day, same. And it's everything, and it's a great way to clean out your freezer, and just really super easy basic instructions. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to get 1.5 to 2 pounds of ground beef browning, and we're gonna add some onion and garlic to it. All right, so we've got our skillet. I've got 1.5 pounds of beef here. And as this slowly browns, we're gonna go cut up some onion. So I just have a sweet onion here. Always makes a mess. I'm gonna use the whole thing. This would be a great one even to get together the night before, and then, if you have a busy morning, just throw it in the crock pot quick before you leave. If you want to, you could put it all in a stock pot and just simmer it for an hour or so during the day if you'd like to. So there's that option. And I'm not going to real finely dice this. I'm just going to kind of chunk it up because it is a vegetable soup. And because it's going in the crock pot, these onions are going to turn nice and tender and cook down anyway. All right. I'm going to leave my garbage pile over here. I don't want onion skin there. Okay, and I'm also going to add a clove of garlic. I'm always a little heavy-handed because we really like garlic. Let that simmer in with your beef. Then we also want to season it with some salt and pepper. All right, so while that's cooking, we're gonna go get our celery and our carrots and everything else diced up. All right, so we're gonna want a cup of celery, a cup of carrots, and then a cup of potatoes. And for your celery, this is the perfect time to use those inside pieces of your celery with all the leaves on it, because it really adds a lot of extra flavor to the soup. So you can dice these as little as you want. I kind of like to make them smaller just because I want them to all fit on the spoon nicely when you're eating this. And if you go over, you don't have to be real exact on your cup. If you want more, of one vegetable than the other, you totally can do that. Yeah, stretch the soup out. Get all the veggies in you. Super healthy soup. There's not a whole lot in it. Okay, but vegetables. Got some potatoes. I had a Yukon Gold and a russet just hanging out, so I'm going to use both. You could also use hash brown cubes if you have those and just dump some in. All right, and last but certainly not least, we got a cup of carrots. I always find it easiest when I'm cutting carrots to slice them down the middle and then put them on the flat side so they don't roll around when you're dicing them. Should have used my bigger. Actually, let's do this. Stir this quick. It's looking good. We just want to get all the pink out of it. Even though it's going to cook all day, you still want to get it cooked before it goes in there. I like getting all these big chunks broke down so it's more uniform in size. Okay, that's going to hang out. Okay, so our veggies are all chopped. I'm going to see if I can fit them on this plate. Yeah, this would be easy. If you got all this chopped and your hamburger all browned the night before, you probably could throw those together in like under 5 minutes. So, all right, I'm going to set this here. We're going to head back over to our beef and get that done. This is looking really good. I think by the time we get everything in the crock pot, this will be good. If you have a higher fat content of ground meat, you'll want to make sure you drain the fat off of it. This is super lean, so as you can see, there's really not any to worry about. This is what I'm taking all lunch or all week for my lunches, so it'll be a nice kind of meal prep, but it also makes about 3.5 quarts, so if you got a bigger family or want it for a dinner, that works too. I'm going to shut this off. I think that looks good. All right, so let's get everything in our crock pot. So we've got our cup of, well, way more than a cup of carrots, potatoes, and celery. We're going to put those in. It is vegetable soup after all. Got that. And I have 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and these are the 14-ounce can. You can also use one 28-ounce can. Dump those in. We also want a whole quart of beef broth. Yum. All right, before I forget, we also are going to put in some frozen corn and some frozen beans. So if you're like me and you open corn and you make some for dinner and you've got like a whole bunch of open bags of vegetables that need eaten up, this is a perfect soup to get rid of those. So we want about a cup of corn. That's going in. And same with the beans. Dump that in. We also need 3 cups of water. Boy, this is getting full. So good. And we're going to add the beef to it. Let's see if I can do it offhanded for you guys. Slide that in.
Yeah, it's getting full.
That is getting full, but
Holy cow.
so delicious. Yum. And I used way more vegetables than called for, but it is vegetable soup and I want all the vegetables. But look how beautiful that is. You got the colors of the rainbow, red, orange, yellow, and green. All right, so we've got all the ingredients in here, but we certainly need to season that. So we need 2 teaspoons of parsley. You know what? Let's turn this on. I'm going to go high for 4 hours because I'm a little late this morning getting this going. If I was going to do this before work, I would do it low for 8 hours, and then it'll just turn on, keep warm when when it turned off, and then I could just eat it. So we got 2 teaspoons of parsley. A teaspoon of basil, which gives it such great flavor. And a half a teaspoon of some thyme. Boop. All right, and then obviously some salt and pepper. So let's give this a stir. Oh my, that smells good. If you're doing this on the stovetop, like I said, you'll probably want to let this simmer for about an hour. Get all those little seasonings down in there. All right, so let's get some pepper in here. I'm only going to add probably, I don't know, 1/3 or to 1/4 of a teaspoon. We can always add more, but you can't take it out once you add it, so keep that in mind. And the canned tomatoes are going to need some salt, so I'm going to say a teaspoon, just because of how much stuff is in there. Okay, so this is on, it's all stirred, and we'll be back in about 4 hours. The potatoes are going to cook. Everything's going to meld together and be so delicious. So let's get the lid. And there you go. You can walk out the door, go to work, and have dinner ready for you when you come home. I'll see you when this is ready in about 4 hours. Our crock pot has been cooking for about 4 hours this afternoon. We're about ready for dinner, and I'm going to show you what the finished product will look like. And it smells amazing. It's nice and toasty. It was bubbling away. I'm going to give it another stir, and then we're going to taste it to make sure the salt is right. Sometimes the peppers and all of the things that you add to it might need a little more. Look at how beautiful it is. Everything's cooked and tender. Okay. So I don't burn my mouth off. I think it needs a little more salt. About done with this container there. Let's give it a stir. Oh my gosh, you guys, I sure hope you try this. Give me a thumbs up if you love eating soup in the winter, because I sure do. Especially, I love taking it in my lunch to work. So much better than having a whole cold sandwich. All right, so let's get this plated up. I have 2 bread recipes. I'll link them up here in the corner that you could make this to go with. They're delicious as well. Yum, look at all those vegetables. And this is one of these great things. It's gluten-free, it's full of veggies, getting you back on your health track here at the beginning of the year. Just a great, great soup to have. Now that I've got the seasoning right, I'm gonna see if I don't burn my mouth off. It's so hot, it's burning a hole in my hand. It's too hot.
Don't eat it if it's too hot. I don't want you to burn your face off.
When I was a kid and our soup was too hot, I'd put an ice cube in it to cool it down just a tiny bit. That's so good, you guys. I sure hope you try making this. That is delicious. I'm going to set that down because it's really hot. Hey, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and turn the bell on for notifications. And thank you again for joining me in my kitchen today, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Where can I get and not be seen? Right here is my invisible wall. Okay.
Your invisible wall.
Gotta stay out of my invisible wall. Is that door closed again?
Yes.
I know I say that every week, but man, that's loud.
It's really not. You remember our old washer and dryer? Yes.
I remember that.
So much better. Yeah, I forgot. I looked at the ingredients and thought, ooh, do I make a half a batch? I'm still talking to the snowman, right?
You have to talk to the snowman. That is mainly to get close-ups of your goodness. Rolling quiet on set. And action.
Gonna taste good, I know.